From the beginning, the lights have been by Vegas, for Vegas, of Vegas. Unapologetic and unorthodox as they are undefeated. Tonight, the spotlight shines on Sin City. They welcome San Antonio FC in the USL Game of the Week. Welcome to the United Soccer League Game of the Week on ESPN3, where professional soccer in the entertainment capital has yet to disappoint. Cashman Field, the site, Las Vegas Lights FC, one of 4 undefeated teams left in the league, taking on San Antonio FC. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Devin Kurz alongside Mike Watts with you tonight. And for San Antonio, they're trying to keep Las Vegas off the board for the first time in franchise history. If anyone can pitch a clean sheet against them, it might just be Diego Restrepo.
And they've had a rough time in doing so far. You know, some very wishy-washy performances, but I'll tell you what, Diego Restrepo has been up to the task. You see 2 clean sheets. Tell you what, folks, he's got 14 since the start of 2017. That's best in the USL. That's a shutout 40% of the time in the matches that he plays in.
On the other side, this is a Las Vegas Lights team that plays in such a unique fashion. Extra mustard, anybody? They lead the league in yellow cards.
Well, and their head coach Isidro telling us that they're going to come out and they're going to show enthusiasm, they're going to show intensity. Unfortunately, in some situations, they're arriving late. There's no malintent. They're not being negligent. They just need to all be on the same page, reading the same book. Chemistry and camaraderie are going to progress. They're going to get better, and those are going to start to dissipate in the yellow cards. But someone who hasn't been afraid of going into the book has been this young man, Joel Wiki. And I use that young term very lightly. He's been a Mexican mainstay for a long period of time, stepping into this Las Vegas defense and providing a lot of offense going forward. Great goal you're going to see right there versus Sac Republic on the set piece last week. Unfortunately, they ended up tying the game, but again, you mentioned it, Mike, undefeated for the season and undefeated at home.
And we'll tell you how much this Las Vegas team likes to score on set pieces. That's part of why their conversion rate is so high. For San Antonio, it's just a lack of execution right now.
Not as many for Las Vegas in the offensive third, but very efficient, as you mentioned. San Antonio and head coach Darren Powell telling us they haven't been able to produce much. Not a lot of ingenuity in the final third, but once they get down there and they get the goals, they're going to start to come. The floodgates will open, and you'll see the offense become a little bit more prolific.
You are not going to want to miss this one on ESPN3. Las Vegas, only 4 games played this year and 1 in the last 26 days. San Antonio has gone 4 winless. They're one of the best on the road in the league last year, but this an entirely different animal. Vegas, San Antonio next. They don't need to be in section 118 for Mission City 118 and the Crocketeers to make their way out. San Antonio is always well represented on the road, but a special kind of visit away for the first time to Las Vegas in the USL Game of the Week. Devin Kerrs alongside Mike Watts back with you. Let's meet the starters. San Antonio making just one change. Cesar Elizondo out. They like what Connor Presley's been providing in training.
The 19-year-old has been performing quite well and stepping in, going to make another appearance here. And what you're going to see is Darren Powell, that's his move, telling us that he's making the offensive move to try and get things kick-started a little bit earlier for them. Again, they've been able to hold possession, string together a lot of passes, haven't able to put anything in the back of the net.
On the other side, Las Vegas, Jorge Guillen Torres makes his second appearance of the year as a starter. Julian Portugal moves in as a holding player, and of course, Freddie Adu, Carlos Alvarez, Sammy Ochoa, well-known commodities.
And don't forget our boy Ricardo Farinho in between the pipes back there. he's in the limelight all by himself. But yeah, the back line looking pretty steady and moving things around in the final six. Freddie Adu stepping in only 51 minutes last game against Sac Republic. Only touched the ball 17 times, but they're getting more experience out of him, getting him back into match fitness and looking for him to be a bigger part of this light squad.
The technical director is Jose Luis Sanchez Sola, or just simply El Chelis. His son Isidro Sanchez, 30 years old, is the head coach for this side, as they've brought in a very Mexican presence, very international presence under his tutelage in his first year. On the other side, Darren Powell is the head coach for San Antonio FC. And well, this is something that we can't say often enough. April is Parkinson's Awareness Month. When we spoke with Darren here, Preston Petrie, who's the PR man for San Antonio, he told him, I like to run. Let's do something with that. He's going to run 5 5Ks throughout the season to raise awareness. And he told us today, Devin, that the outpouring of support he's felt is just remarkable.
That was the reverberation of the entire conversation over and over and over again, saying here across the pond in England, just everybody has been so supportive for the cause in general and for he and his family and everybody else, and they just want to raise awareness so that they can help the next person down the line. And that was his biggest thing. He said, listen, everybody struggles with it, but not everybody knows exactly what goes on with this disease top to bottom, and he wants to be able to have the community touch other people's families as it has touched his.
Well, our thoughts with his father and everyone dealing with Parkinson's disease is, looks like Luis Guardia's got some work to do. The referee for tonight's match is going to go over check in with Diego Restrepo. He's got a very rowdy fan base behind him here in Sin City. And basically every article you read about Las Vegas Lights, it's about the llamas, it's about the unique atmosphere at the stadium, it's about Freddie Adu. There's so many ancillary storylines, but they're undefeated right now. And Freddie Adu makes his second start with this team. They're not oblivious to the fact that he's a unique figure, but they also know that they can come in here and win year one with the group they've assembled.
This is exactly what home field advantage is. Every squad that has come here has struggled. They've been knocked off their game. They've been pushed away from their P's and Q's and haven't been able to get to their bread and butter. But I'll tell you what, San Antonio FC wants to use this as a catalyst and a Kickstarter to kind of get their season going. Again, Darren Powell telling us that performance-wise, they've put in some solid efforts, not a full 90 minutes, but they have to be more prolific and show much more ingenuitiveness going forward. They got to find the back of the net. And you can say that for most squads, but for a team last year that finished 17-4-11 and put a boatload of goals away in the back of the net, they got to get that goal differential more even.
Christian Torres lobs and nodded away. Cashman Field holds about 10,000. They've averaged over 8,000 a game in their first 3 regular season matches. It's just been remarkable what they've put together in a short amount of time as Garduño knocks it back to Ricardo Farinho. Sammy Ochoa, who spent the last few years in the USL in Tulsa and Sacramento. This is Alvarez. That ran too far, and San Antonio takes over.
And keep an eye, you can see all the emotion and all the pace being shot right at San Antonio right away. Las Vegas Lights have a tendency to come out and score early goals, get out in front of teams, makes it difficult to play from behind in general, yet alone at this very difficult stadium, Cashman Field.
Lobbed out to the neon sign that El Chelis protects with his right foot. Towards Weeki. Farinho drives away. San Antonio in their trademark white and black unis. It's the neon black kits for Las Vegas that drew headlines from the outset. Presley. King, who came over from Tampa Bay on the offseason. Guadarrama sends to the back post and lofted too far.
A poor ball from Guadarrama, but good ball movement by San Antonio right off the bat. Nice little interchanging play, something down into the channel. You can see Guadarrama take a look up as he tried to pick out someone on the far post, but that's what they wanted out of Connor Presley. You saw him step in, open up the space for the Austin Texan native to get down into the corner.
Cochran. And Huiki waiting to toss in 330 plus appearances in League MX. This is a Las Vegas team with a remarkable amount of experience in the Mexican first and second division. Ochoa for Adu. Guadarrama. Escalante. Out of the reach of King. Well, Devin, what has it been about San Antonio? You've watched enough of their games to know they aren't scoring at a high rate. We've spoken with Darren Powell. What do you diagnose is the issue behind this offense through 6 games?
A lot of it actually reminds me to what the Charlotte Independents dealt with at the end of last year, where you can maintain all the possession in the world, you can play another team off the park, but at some point in time, someone has to step up, throw the play, not even the team, throw that individual play on their shoulders and beat a man. You got to beat someone, and that's why I reference the word ingenuitive. Going forward, you have to be more dynamic so that when you get into the final third, you have to show that grit and those guts and beat someone so that you can get in, open up the next spot, open up the next space, or better yet, just beat a guy and have a crack on goal.
Ian Torres fouled there for a Las Vegas team whose conversion rate is more than double San Antonio's at the outset of the season. Guadarrama. Well, if you've been reading from the pitch this year, you know that Diego Restrepo's journey to the starting role was long and winding. Not a starter from 2014 with the Rowdies until last year with San Antonio. Started 28 games, including the playoffs, going from third string to first string due to a series of devastating injuries that many teams would have found themselves on the outside looking in the playoff picture. Instead, San Antonio was the story of the early going of the 2017 season. Alvarez commits the foul. Dangerous high boot.
You and I were talking about him off air before the match, Mike, and talking about his appearances and how many he's had here, how many he's had there. 88 in the past 8 seasons, so only averaging 11, but like you said, stepping up into that starting role last year. And last week, such a great outing, being rewarded with his efforts. Team of the week, week 6. Just get another look at the challenge, stepping in, just a follow through as the 50-50 ball carries over from Carlos Alvarez, catching a boot to the stomach.
He's got one of those rare kind of factoids about him, Alvarez.
Alvarez has bounced around as well, and going to step up. Orange County, San Antonio back in 16, and another one you and I were talking about, first ever for San Antonio Football Club and
LAFC.
Attaboy.
Went to Orange County last year and didn't have the results necessary to stick LAFC in their first year in MLS. Found a nice home here in Las Vegas. Ochoa knocked down. Well, this is the interesting part of Las Vegas Lights. Set pieces are everything to this team. Ochoa trying to find himself on the end of a goal here, finally. Great goal scorer with a bottom-feeding Roughnecks team. Last year got a taste of success in Sacramento. Las Vegas trying to get him on the board here. Alvarez for Huiki. Cleared to Portugal on the follow, and it's caught by Restrepo.
And you'll see a couple guys step into that situation. You saw Carlos Alvarez over the ball. We've seen Huiki hit a few as well, but he's so dynamic in the air. They like to use him, but talking with his head coach Isidro.
Boy, this is Las Vegas in a nutshell in their clearance. King into space. Return ball. Huiki and King both fell down, and Guadarrama from distance off the mark.
Darnell King having a few words with our head referee, Luis Guardian. Getting back to that, you'll see they're very dynamic. A lot of motion, a lot of movement. To the naked eye, it just looks like a good goal by OL Huiki last week, but I'll tell you what, it was extremely well orchestrated. The run starting from the front, bending to the back. We asked Isidro about it, and he tells us it's different when he came to America, that defensively, he thinks teams aren't used to seeing that. And he made so much as to make the analogy of a set piece is like magic. It's like being a magician. Look at this shininess over here while I produce something behind you over here on the right, and that they go even further, that they practice about 80% of their set pieces with a blackboard during practice. I mean, that is a staggering statistic. And one more fun fact with them, and as they go further, I said, you know, I had something like this growing up. I had a coach who would be dynamic and run a bunch of plays for us, and he would go so far as to name the plays by countries. So he would yell Brazil, Argentina, Cuba, Spain, and they all had a name and a reason behind it. And he would go even further and say, okay, we're going to run this here, and yell it from the sidelines. Isidro said, my friend, you are exactly on point. They've got names for everything. Pineapple, pinchada, corvada. Unfortunately, I don't know what any of them mean and which plays they are, but still, it's a fun little fact to know, and so you keep an eye on that when you see him going from the spot here this evening.
They're down for San Antonio. There's Guadarrama.
There's Carlos Alvarez using his body. Just moving the ball around. Referee didn't like the challenge in the middle.
Guadarrama, a pro for over a decade, including in the second division of Mexico. This ball over Huiki, and you'll see a lot of Ricardo Farino well outside his 18. Strong-willed header finds Adu. Oh, that's dangerous stuff. Luis Guardia has decisions to make.
Guardia calling trainer from the sideline on that 50-50 challenge. I saw Ryan Rushendell stepping in. Oh, that's a rough one on Freddie Adu. Just studs up. High flying kick from the captain. Darren Powell's going to be a little bit frustrated with the decision making in that situation.
Shandel, the captain for San Antonio, stepping in with just a booking, it appears, on the way for now. Freddie Adu is the one standing in there. That's a yellow card to Freddie Adu.
I'm lost. I would love to know the decision making in that referee's head, how Freddie Adu is going to get a yellow card in that situation.
think Freddie Adu is trying to figure out the same thing you are. Well, they now lead the league in yellow cards. This Cashman Field crowd feels like they were hard done.
Anybody watching this is going to feel like they were hard done. He doesn't leave his feet, doesn't do anything wrong. Ryan steps in, boot to the face, close enough anyway. Now it's all starting to make sense why it was carded all those times back in the day.
This is Ochoa. Alvarez serves, looking for a do. It's caught by Restrepo.
And that's exactly why Alvarez has 2 assists on the season. So the Lights are technically playing a 3-4-3. What you're going to see out of Carlos Alvarez, though, is he's going to shift into like a 3-5-2 position. He'll come back and forth from the top to the middle, does a good job, picks his head up. Nice little out-swinging ball, and you see Freddie Adu trying to crash the party on top of the 6. Good goalkeeping by Diego Restrepo.
Torres giving chase, and Restrepo has it under control. Not to ask a stupid question, but
never a stupid question.
I've never seen anything quite like this. I'm not sure that you have.
Are we referencing the referee's decision, or are we talking about the game in general?
The atmosphere in general here at Cashman Field, it's unparalleled.
It's extremely difficult. It is, you hate to use the word hostile, because hostile can imply negativity, and I don't think this is a negative environment.
Castillo tried to play it across, the square ball off the mark. Presley arriving. Pekka kept it alive. Presley shooting, he put it wide of the post. Would have made Darren Powell look like a genius, his inclusion in the starting 11.
Well, how about the 19-year-old stepping over from the right wing, doing a good job just picking up play. Sees Scrappy in the midfield, slips in behind Pekka's challenge and has it go about 25 yards out with that left foot. That's what you want to see out of the young 19-year-old. Good stuff.
One of the players saying after the initial preseason game, 10,000 feels like 25,000 here. No kidding.
When I made the comment, Mike, I don't want to say hostile because they are here for fun and entertainment, and they do provide a good atmosphere, but nonetheless, it's still an extremely difficult place to play in. I said before, almost every team that comes in here gets away from what they're used to doing. San Antonio likes to hold the ball. Swope Park Rangers likes to hold the ball. And at both times, we haven't seen a lot out of San Antonio yet, but Swope came in here. I mean, they lead the league in possession. Some coaches telling you and I that they probably hold the ball better than anyone in the USL. Couldn't do it here at Cashman Field.
Turned away by Garduño. Portugal. Foul from behind by Guadarrama. Ochoa guilty of the foul. Guy who checks in at 6'1". And at 205 on the roster in Sacramento last year, but a guy who uses his size to become a dominant figure as a holding striker.
For Semi Ochoa, he's bounced all over the place, and mentioned Sac Republic last year. Stepping in, taking the opportunity up top for this Las Vegas Lights squad. He's really looking for that striking partner because, as you mentioned, he does a good job supporting role, doesn't carry the speed that he once used to, but still technical capability, unrivaled in a lot of areas, but he needs the likes of Freddie Adu and Carlos Alvarez step up and help him out.
Alvarez leading ball. Torres pushed aside. Play continues clean from King. Ochoa stepping in. Ochoa has that deflected away. Presley. And driven upfield, a chance now. What a flick that is! Guadarrama catches up. Guadarrama! And it's put in by Guzman. San Antonio on the road, quiet in Cashman Field. It's 1-0. Well, it's unclear the cost. It's the first of the year for Guzman. He's been waiting all year for it. This player on the ground right now is motioning for a sub.
Well, that's extremely unfortunate for Darren Powell and his boys, as you see.
It is Ever Guzman, who just scored, and a guy who scores in bunches, but last thing you want to do is see him score and then get hurt.
And we talked to Darren about that, and you can see again the quick strike ability that San Antonio carries, coming from the back and moving down the pitch so ferociously. Great ball played in. Nice little combination play in Guzman. 5 goals at the end of last year, 5 goals in preseason as well, and just hasn't been able to get it going this year. Missed a PK versus LA, does have an assist on the year, has played much more of a supporting role. This starts from Darnell King's challenge and little knock in the 50-50 on the backside. Great flick by Guzman. Guess what? Job not done. Continues down. And how unselfish from the Austin native, Sonny Guadarrama. Great ball played across, and they go up 1-0 to the visitors.
Ball hops up on Escalante. It's a handball. When we spoke with Darren Powell earlier today, he said we'd love to get a goal early and try and silence the crowd. It's still not silent, but it is a little quieter than it was.
And if you could get it from anyone, he'd probably tell you he'd love it from Ever Guzman.
Alvarez, is there a response to be had? A rip. Guadarrama sidesteps it out. A change on the way for San Antonio. Comes out to Guillen Torres. It was announced this week Chris Tierpak, who was going to be suspended for the match regardless, left the club by mutual consent. Freddie Adu. Darren Powell telling us that player gets an opportunity, you wish him the best. What that opportunity is isn't entirely clear yet. Tierpak on the move. Cochran knocks it out, but it does knock San Antonio's attacking core down a peg.
And I said to him, I said, look, you lose Billy Forbes to Phoenix Rising. He's jumped over there and jumped ship, and you have Chris step in on the left side. As you mentioned, Mike, gone but not easily forgotten. Who's going to step into that role? Well, right now that's Jose Escalante, number 23, acquired from Houston and RGV. He's been on loan pretty much everywhere.
Flick header cleared, following shot. Deflects out wide. Marco Jaime. And Guillen Torres carries it over. Alex Bruce coming on in the 20th minute. Header flicked. Ball falls, deflected away. There's a foul in the area too. Against Ochoa.
There's another restart. Nice flick in. You can see Freddie Adu getting involved in the match. Didn't see him much last week. Again, only 17 touches in 51 minutes. But you can hear down Wathen, and this place is still roaring.
Steered aside by Adu. Comes all the way to Restrepo. Restrepo picks it up with the former United States Wonder Kid on the doorstep. Roll for Vegas, team that held open tryouts in December. At 500 players arrive, try and be a part of this team. It's a group with an intense roster of both international flavor and Las Vegas locals. Lifted upfield by Guadarrama. Bruce in pursuit, and Farino drives away. Alvarez. Ochoa! Ochoa still off the board.
Well, Las Vegas Lights looking for an answer. They've been knocking on the doorstep a few times here. Well done, taken off the chest by Ochoa, and just a great ball to Alvarez. Those two combining very well so far this season, trying to pick out that far post. You saw Restrepo getting up a little gingerly, so keep an eye on him. Had it covered, but much better from the Las Vegas Lights.
Lifted long again. Caught San Antonio by Diego Restrepo. First time, Devin, that they've scored first this year. Diego Restrepo finally has a lead to work with against this expansion side Lights.
Crazy, is that seventh game, into the season, and that's a staggering statistic for a squad that is just so offensively sound. At least they were last year. We're so accustomed to seeing them in many different manner.
Huiki just put it wide. He nearly snuck it inside his own post.
Got away with one there, buddy. We've seen this on the other side of the pitch, but he and Frino not on the same page. Frino almost committing to the play. Huiki thinking that his goalkeeper is going to stay home and he's going to be able to head it back. Gets really lucky here. A lot of times you'll see a defender, ball comes in like that, he's going to clear, he'll go up over the bar. But now, Mike, we're going to see, how do they play out in front? They've come from behind to tie things up. They've come from behind to win it once. Can they do it leading?
37-year-old Rafa Castillo swinging in toward the back post. It's too far. King. And a shove from behind. While Darren Powell is incensed. Guadarrama is down, holding his left knee. Beg your pardon, it's Escalante. Gets banged up there.
It's just a nasty late challenge from one of the Lights players, and that's something that you got to keep an eye on as well. Luis Guardia got to step in, make sure that the match is consistent, called both ways. We saw the awkward call on Freddie Adu earlier, motioning for a yellow card almost immediately on the 28-year-old, and
Castillo. Farino takes over. Seventeenth-minute goal from Ever Guzman's the difference. He was injured on the play, replaced by Alex Bruce. 1-0 lead for San Antonio, away to Cashman Field in the USL game of the week. King slid away. That's a wonderful challenge from Ian Torres. Now the race is on. Portugal, Guillen Torres lobbing. Caught by Restrepo.
And that's one time from each team that we've seen them in transition play a lazy ball to the back post. Easy pickings for both goalkeepers. Darnell King getting his pocket picked a little bit, trying to get around the outside. But as you mentioned, Mike, good job by Guillen Torres stepping up. Excellent challenge.
Picked up by Portugal, the native of Las Vegas. Popped up by Felix, who came over from Rochester. Starting at center back tonight. Ball for Presley, ran too far. And a throw for Christian Torres. Time at Tijuana. local, went to Coronado High School. He started all 5, number 23 in neon.
And depending on their formation, they'd like to use Christian on that left-hand side. They've used him in the wing-back position. They've used him as a marking back. Marco Cesar Jaime Jr. who gets involved in the act over there as well. He's moved into the middle of the field tonight. Christian Torres, the speedster, likes to get up and down, whips a pretty good ball in with his left foot. Don't normally see him on set pieces, but he's going to give it a go.
Torres drives. Leakey went up for it, bounds out. It's Escalante, the Honduran. The race was on, he's tossed down. Should be a clear card.
Unfortunately, Luis Guardia got to tend to his own issues, having a little footwear problem.
There you see father and son, Isidro and El Chalice. Spent last week with Tata Martino in Los Angeles when Atlanta United played away.
The boys telling us, went down there and he and Tata had breakfast. Nice little conversation about tactics and friendly banter. Isidro actually attended the game that night as well. I'm gonna get in touch with Chalice. Those Velvet Puma he's got, they're solid.
Look at this from the 17th minute.
Again, it was just nice. Top to bottom, left to right, start to finish, phenomenal. Moving out of the back, excellent in transition. They went with pace, they went with precision. Good combination play and just a phenomenal finish. Very unselfish by Guadarrama, knocking the ball over by Guzman. And there's another look at him there. You saw him grabbing his hamstring. He's got him wrapped around now. Let's see a little bit of roughage on the backside. Don't be surprised if that's iced down. They're going to get it going on and off for the next 20, 30 minutes.
Torres taken by King. Leading ball, Castillo. Oh, this is fantastic. Bruce taken away by Huiki. Wonderful build-up from San Antonio. We're really doing the part tonight.
Well, another look. Starting on the right side from Connor Presley. Good ball across from Guadarrama. And just, you said it, Mike, one after another. And they just keep going. That's what they want. You got to give credit to Darren Powell so far. He said he was making the change to kind of push things forward, get some fireworks started. Connor Presley has definitely provided that.
Roll for Las Vegas and Christian Torres, the 21-year-old Mexican, ceding to Marco Jaime. Jaime with the long throw. Nodded back. Cleared by Presley. And now, Guadarrama. Bruce making a run. Farino quells the threat. Throw coming for San Antonio. Past the half-hour mark. Cashman Field, USL Game of the Week. San Antonio leads a goal to nil. Devin Kerr's alongside. Mike Watts with you this evening. Lone match in the USL at this present moment. As the USL nearing the 500,000 attendance mark this weekend. As fast as they've ever reached it if they're able to unlock that achievement this week. Las Vegas, just one of many atmospheres around the league that's really impressed in its first year. A set piece coming for San Antonio in a moment. The Fresno, Nashville, Indy, all coming up with super impressive numbers all year long.
There's a boatload of other teams that would jump in on the secondary market. How about Slugger Field and Phoenix Rising Complex?
Castillo may get a second bite at the apple, and then there's the attendance darlings Cincinnati and Sacramento over these last few years. Shaw gave chase. Presley knocks it ahead. King, what a run this is. King up the right channel, plays it across, falls in the 18. Escalante put it in. San Antonio's got a 2-goal lead away to Las Vegas.
Well, prolific isn't the word 33 minutes into this game. This goal, once again, like the first, starts from Darnell King. He almost finishes it, but you saw Darnell in the first one, made a good job getting up. You can see Connor Presley, good ball in. Darnell King flips a great ball across the 6-yard box. Presley actually followed up the run. I saw Alex Bruce coming in from behind who missed it, but Presley missed it as well. So good job from all their players following their passes, providing support, moving forward. And the acquisition of Jose Escalante, who grabbed a suspension at the end of last year, coming in, serving his suspension, no more. Doing a good job on that left-hand side, 2-0 San Antonio.
With his ITC as well at the outset, his transfer certificate coming from RGV and the Houston Dynamo organization. Escalante got a yellow card, Escalante did. Restrepo's out of his goal, and it's bombed away. And back to Ferrigno.
Got to be careful. Those are antics we tend to see more on the side of Las Vegas Lights from Ricardo Ferrigno. Diego Restrepo getting a little bit careless in the back. Ferrigno following suit now.
Restrepo. Ian Torres. Adu holding up play. Nadeau won the free kick. And now the play called back offside against Adu.
You're going to hear a lot of frustrated Las Vegas fans in this situation, but boys up top just getting themselves into an offside position. Play carrying on a little bit. Head referee did not see his assistant on the sideline raise the flag. It's going to go the other way for San Antonio.
Torres intercepted by Pekka. Pekka dropped by Ochoa.
Solid sportsmanship from the two as well.
There's Ryan Felix, all USL in Rochester. Now Castillo stands over the free kick. Castillo falls near the back post. Ferrigno sliding out on his knees. Well, Ferrigno leaning back and getting Escalante. Went down. Torres. Collision. Out to Huiki. Return ball from Guillen Torres to Torres. Restrepo holds. Well, San Antonio could not have asked for a better result through 37 minutes. They're looking to add to it. Bruce Huiki got enough. This is a team, San Antonio, that couldn't find the back of the net at all in the first 4 games. Slight exaggeration. But all of a sudden, 2 on the road, maybe they have figured it out.
It kind of gets to Darren Powell's point of once it comes, it's going to come in waves, and we've seen that so far, and it's also a spacing issue for the Lights.
Cochran header is over the crossbar.
Jumping back to our yellow card conversation at the top of our broadcast mic, Isidro telling us that the chemistry, the camaraderie, and arriving late, that was causing an issue. And he also said it was lack of coordination, of lack of combining. And when things happen like that, when one player gets caught out of position, this person has to step over, that person arrives late, so on and so forth. And you're seeing a lot of that for transition for San Antonio, and they're taking advantage of it. Las Vegas Lights, again, shifting in and out of that 3-5-2, 3-4-3 situation. San Antonio playing that high press. Their outside backs getting up. Good representation by Darnell King there. We've seen him defensively and offensively being very active on the right-hand side. And you can see Las Vegas is really struggling with it.
Felix pushing over Freddie Adu. Another free kick for Carlos Alvarez. Played under Chalice at Chivas USA in a previous stop. Alvarez right into Restrepo, collides with Ochoa.
Diego showing some of his frustration with the challenge from Sammy Ochoa up top. No real reason to forward to step in there, but it's always nice to make your presence felt.
Intercepted by Castillo, only for a moment. Joel Huiki, Guadarrama took it away. Castillo, Presley. Presley cutting toward the corner. Want to throw.
It's good composure by Connor Presley. You saw him receive the ball right at the top of the 18. No one in support, just carries it to the end line. Still nothing, gets a throw in out of it. Good job.
Bruce hands it off. Garduño. Corner to San Antonio in the 41st minute.
This is where Isidro is going to need to have a quick few words. And they've done so well offensively on set pieces. Need to get organized. Don't want to give up another goal before half.
Guadarrama goes short. Guadarrama crossing out in front. Dangerous stuff. Portugal, a heavy touch back to Castillo. San Antonio reloads. Bouncing across. Guadarrama brings it down. Cuts. Shoots over the crossbar.
Well, I tell you, from the play that we've seen out of Sonny in this game, in this first half, first 45 minutes, he's been the mainstay offensively. Combination all over the place. Good job here. Isolates Ferrigno. Great touch to the right. Brings it back to his left. And you can just see him lose his footing. Alex Bruce wide open next to him. The young 19-year-old's got to speak up there.
Torres taken again by San Antonio. A dominant first half performance for the road team. And a fiery response from the technical director. Alvarez, great first move. Alvarez clips back. Adu had it deflect off. Contact edge of the area. The turn all breaks down. Torres lobbing for the back post. Brought down. Alvarez, the extra touch. Just looking for the overlap from Torres. A push at the back of the referee. And now San Antonio on the break. Presley. That was a remarkable grab, the kind of thing you see on the Blake down.
Coming off the retaining wall behind the upper 90. Yeah, very clever from Ricardo.
I mean, the gloves help, let's be honest. But
you could do that barehanded.
No chance. No chance. Jack Blake, the Rowdies player, has been doing the Blake down week after week, and an assistant trainer had an overhand, one-handed catch on the fly that was...
Didn't even get it from his seat.
Stuff a legend. The ball bear-hugged between two players, and Felix had that bounce up in on him. Well, it's the long throw here if I may. Strong-willed stuff from Felix. It was off of Garduño.
And you can see him urging the boys on. His fist of fury pumping them, trying to push them emotionally and get into halftime with this 2-0 lead coming over from Rochester and the defensive stalwarts that were the Rhinos and the Bob Lilly squad. It's exactly what San Antonio FC was looking for after the loss of Sebastian Ibeaga to NYCFC.
Let's take a look at what he pulls out of his shorts here. Escalante had a plan.
I'm going with pacifier.
I think so, right?
I'm going with pacifier. Pacifier for 200, Alex.
You don't put that down your shorts unless you have a plan, right? You're expecting to score, right?
I tell you, I played with a kid growing up who used to carry chapstick in the lining of his shorts that was wrapped with athletic tape so his lips wouldn't get dry when he played. True story.
Important goal there for Escalante, who's on loan from the Honduran side, Olympia, who won the CONCACAF League last year, played in Champions League. Ochoa commits the foul. Rochandle drew that contact.
And you're going to see the frustration from Sammy Ochoa, and he steps in here, gets his foot cut up a little bit. Again, I think our head referee, Luis Guarde, needs to kind of tighten the reins a little bit on this match. Again, wasn't really fair to both squads in the first half. With some very questionable calls.
King playing that toward an open net. Restrepo corrects. We're into stoppage time in this first half. One more minute before we head off to the locker rooms. At halftime, we'll tell you about the big weekend ahead of Ricardo Farino, the Las Vegas Lights goalkeeper, and why he'll be traveling more miles than the Lights will. Also show you the upcoming schedule around the USL and tell you about the week that was, as well as first half highlights. That'll be a lot of San Antonio FC on the night as they try and unseat Las Vegas as one of the league's 4 unbeaten teams. Weeky. Bruce following. Maybe one more attack here for Lights FC before halftime. Ian Torres. Ochoa. Cross field from Portugal. Lofted to the top of the 18. Brought down well by Torres. It'll stay with the Lights. but they won't get the throw before halftime. San Antonio FC on the road. Chorus of boos. It's been rare at Cashman Field. Escalante scoring gives San Antonio this 2-goal lead at the half.
A passionate precision from the visitors in the first half. All 45 minutes, all over the pitch. Everybody's been involved. Great team effort. Deservedly so, up 2-0, and Las Vegas Lights back to the drawing board that Isidro referenced to us before. Let's get to that blackboard and let's get away from the set pieces and figure out this formation that's going to help you out in the second half.
San Antonio's traveling supporters, all smiles. Guzman scores his first of the year. Escalante is first for San Antonio. Plenty more from halftime coming up after this. Looking at the electric company, even at halftime, some get their concessions, others continue to watch the entertainment on the field. And Las Vegas Lights in danger of falling from the ranks of the undefeated in their first USL season. San Antonio FC a 2-goal lead at halftime. If you've been following Las Vegas Lights in their expansion season, you know that their owner, Brett Lashbrook, has often said for Vegas, by Vegas, of Vegas, and many of their players with deep Las Vegas roots, few more so than Julian Portugal, a native of Las Vegas who went to UNLV, played at Palo Alto High School, and runs a soccer camp in the area.
The thing that motivates me to train players is my club team was so successful growing up, but we didn't really have a mentor. Vegas is very untapped in talent. There's a lot of talent that just is not promoted. It's like it goes unseen. So I do feel a responsibility to get it out more there, definitely. That kind of motivated me to help these kids that don't have that mentor that I didn't have also growing up. So keeping them on track on school, you know, the healthy lifestyle. And if they really want to make something out of the sport, they got to be dedicated. You know, as the game evolves, year by year, it gets more physical. So the kids definitely do have to go in and hit the gym at least 2 to 3 times a week. You know, it's not everything with the ball. You can involve the ball with most of everything, but you know, sometimes you got to dedicate yourself to the gym as well. Being at UNLV kind of gave me a little bit of an edge, but now being on the lights, I think that just, you know, it shows that my work kind of, it helped me to be on the lights, you know, because I documented how I prepared for the lights, how I trained, and you know what I did, and I showed them, and I even involved some of the kids in my training, and they're like, okay, if that worked for him, it can work for me in a couple years from now.
Wonderful stuff. Las Vegas Lights FC in a nutshell. They're so proud of Cashman Field and this town, one that now has the WNBA, the USL, and the NHL, with the NFL potentially right on the horizon. It's halftime here in our USL Game of the Week on ESPN3. San Antonio FC a 2-goal lead. And if you haven't heard about the Blakedown yet, you'll want to see what Jack Blake has cooking up this week.
Welcome to the Blakedown once again. Thank you to everyone on social media that's given me positive comments, and I really appreciate the support. Here's episode 5, week 6 of the Blakedown.
Canadian sojourn here in 2018.
Played into the penalty area, some good give and go here. There's a shot, and they've opened the scoring.
This team goal by North Carolina is fantastic. If you notice that there's always players on the move, they're always giving the attacking player who's got the ball an option to move. For Rios there, he has 2 or 3 options at the time when he received the ball, and he just found himself in extremely good space. But again, it's just the constant movement of the team, and it makes it very difficult for the defenders to track runners. Once again, it's a fantastic first-time finish, especially on turf, into the top corner.
Oh, bad back pass. Arboleda picks it up, takes the shot, and puts it in the back of the net.
Arboleta's goal starts with his positioning. If you notice, he gives himself an opportunity to close down the centre-back, and he reads the pass extremely well and uses his pace to get there. And then obviously, once he's used his pace, he has to slow himself down. And you see from the finish that there's nothing the keeper could do about that. The celebration is not so much in for Player of the Week, but the finish definitely is.
For Escalante. Goes well to pick this up. Goes through the legs of Navarro. Sends the service.
Escalante's skill here has 2 or 3 different stages. The first stage is when he receives the ball, and it's not the greatest ball to him, but he makes the most out of it. And when he turns, the defender, he's expecting the defender to tackle him. When the defender doesn't make a move, then that's his opportunity to create the skill. And the composure as well. Once he's made the skill, not to get carried away, but to have the composure to cross it. And it's a fantastic cross, and I think he's expecting more from his striker there.
Iwasa, Bijev. Bijev cuts, plays it across, oh, it's in!
When Hall receives the ball here, it's not the easiest ball to deal with. He uses it to his advantage, and it draws 2 defenders out. And once he's drew the 2 defenders out, it then creates more space for Bijev. And when he receives the ball, I think the defender's expecting him to go on his right foot, but he does a fantastic skill. And at a tight angle there, it's a fantastic finish. The composure to relax himself, but to slot it through the keeper is fantastic. And it makes it very difficult for the keeper to get down low when he shoots it at his legs. I hope you've all enjoyed episode 5, week 6 of the Blakedown. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Halftime in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas and San Antonio FC, 2-0 to the roadside. Devin Kerr's alongside Mike Watts, and so often people will go and get married in a day's notice in Las Vegas. For Ricardo Farino, he knows he's getting married. He's getting married tomorrow in Mexico, and then finding his way back up to Salt Lake City for their game on Monday. What a waste of a beautiful cake, Devin.
I love cookies and cream. It's my favorite. I mean, how can you do this? Oh.
Does he eat any of it?
Oh, you have to, right? Pick it up off the floor. That a boy. Go get some. That a boy. Get that sugar intake before the match. You're going to need it.
I know you're going to get married in these next few months, but Ricardo Farino, that's a busy travel schedule to get it done.
You got to wonder from a scheduling standpoint, had a week off, played a game, had a week off. Oh, by the way, we're in the middle of 3 games in 11 days. Why not go get married on the weekend? Heck yeah. And oh, by the way, let's travel to the Zion, the new park, and go play Real Monarchs on Monday.
So he's off to Torres next, and then he will find his way to Salt Lake City for a big game at Zions Bank Park. They'll open that brand new stadium. It's halftime here. We'll show you the highlights from the first half after this. downtown Las Vegas, those glum Vegas faces tell a story. It's San Antonio FC 2, Las Vegas Lights FC 0. In our USL Game of the Week, Devin Kerr, let's look at our halftime highlights. And boy, if there's one thing we knew about San Antonio from last year, they turned defense to offense in a real hurry.
And people are going to be frustrated at the Las Vegas Lights for the little arm shove, tug, whatever you want to call it, off Jorge and Torres, but it's a great challenge by Darnell King. You see a ball comes over to Pekka, got his first goal for the club a couple weeks ago. Awesome ball played into Ever Guzman, solid over to Sonny Guadarrama, and unselfish as he brings it back across to repay the favor. And San Antonio FC goes up 1-0.
And he would come out just 2 minutes later, never re-entered the field. Guzman, an apparent leg injury. And Guadarrama, that's an excellent square ball. Ferrigno, quick off his line.
Too quick. He committed himself too early. And also Garduño on the backside, he gets beat, but he doesn't go after the second ball. And San Antonio FC did not pull off the gas. They just kept pushing and pushing. Ferrigno, questionable challenge, but I'll tell you what, Ochoa, great ball taken off the chest. The combination between he and Alvarez have been prevalent first few games. Tries to pick out the far post, can't find it.
If that sneaks in, we're talking 1-1, and Las Vegas is right back in it. Instead, you see San Antonio continue to push that pedal down. Comes down to Presley, who came in and played a wonderful first half. And Darnell King putting on the burners, getting inside, finding Escalante, pacifying the crowd.
Darnell King used to play forward back in his days and did a good job at Florida Atlantic. He transferred over into the defensive position, moving on the right for the Strikers and the Rowdies, and doing a good job here for San Antonio as well. But how good was Connor Presley in the first half? The 19-year-old stepping in, doing such a good job, making the most of his opportunity. Ball gets played down in the corner, ball across from the byline by Darnell King, and Jose Escalante pulls out the pacifier, and they go up 2-0.
Meanwhile, how about this? Ferrigno, whoop, see ya. Guadarrama can't finish, though.
Sonny's going to be upset with that one. Again, great combination play on the first goal with Ever Guzman. Unselfish play, gets the assist, brings it back to the left, and just body's kind of wibbling, wobbling. What am I going to do? Can't finish it off.
Escalante will probably leave the pacifier in his locker at halftime. Here are the halftime stats in Las Vegas. If you get that one goal, this whole match could be in a totally different light right now.
It's been an emotional roller coaster first half for the Lights, but look, they can get back on track. Isidro's got to make a few changes. In my opinion, I think you pull Freddie off, you keep Sammy in the middle, you move Carlos Alvarez from the right, bring him over to the left. Let him challenge Darnell King for some supremacy on that side of the pitch. Let them go head-to-head, because not only will that relinquish Darnell's ability to go forward, it's going to make him bring back more, because Carlos likes to push so high on the pitch.
Well, there's Las Vegas Lights back out on the field, on their home field, Cashman Field. They've got a 2-goal deficit to overcome. It's a team that's really taken to their community. Maybe no more so than this past week. The Red Noses strapped on. They visited a local children's hospital and get a chance to meet some local fans, get to see professional soccer in their hometown. You know how much this means, taking part as a team in these kind of events.
It's classy. It's not only team building for chemistry and through your organization, but the community really starts to build on you, and it takes into the environment. There's nothing like having every single person from the Lights organization, top to bottom, including everybody in the stands, stand behind you each and every day.
Change on the way in. Isaac Diaz. Guy who has speed to burn, according to El Chalice. This Las Vegas Lights team going to look for some answers to what's quickly become the stout San Antonio defense we've come to know. Guadarrama standing over the ball. He had a fantastic opening half. You can really say that for most everybody on San Antonio FC. Can they see this out? Team with one of the best road records in the USL last year, and they come out firing at the outset. Escalante taking the ground, and Alvarez drops it back. Well, I think it was perfectly to your point. Freddie Adu, nowhere to be found.
He's just not doing enough yet. Look, the technical capability, everybody in the stadium and on this broadcast knows that it's there, but he was out of the match for a little while, out of the game, I should say, for a little while, and he just needs to get back up to match fitness. The mental part will come with time. The skills are always there, just got to get back up to speed, and he's just not there yet. So I like the move by Isidro. You have to wonder if you're going to get speedy Matt Thomas in here as well.
Alvarez cleared aside, follow-up ball over Rochando, knocked up and out toward Alvarez. Ochoa was on the doorstep. Now another chance to serve from Alatorre. Cleared out again. San Antonio playing on the edge here at the outside of the half. Across from Guillen Torres. Well, this is the Las Vegas Lights that the fans have come to know.
You can see him turning it up, and some questionable goalkeeping from Diego Restrepo. The decision-making on the challenge versus Sammy Ochoa. Look, that's your box. He's right around the corner of the 6-yard box. If you're going to go in and step in, come with authority and announce your presence, come and punch that ball or come win it. He does the same thing on the back post and leaves the Lights another opportunity.
Carlos Alvarez didn't hit that the right way. Presley caught up in the air. Alatorre lost that out of play. Took Alatorre a little bit of time to get his contract sorted out at the outset of the season. He traveled to Fresno for their opener. Didn't suit up. He makes his second start of the season, 33 years old, from Guadalajara. Alatorre that gets caught up in the air here. Joel Huiki. Forino. Ochoa steers ahead. There's the service. Ochoa heading. He missed it. And it's continued strong play from Las Vegas. Maybe they figured something out on the chalkboard.
That's good stuff from Vegas. It's the combination play that we've seen out of them before. And good ball down into the corner. Carlos Alvarez crashing the near post. You can see Sammy Ochoa bend off. Tries to pick out that far post. He definitely had Diego Restrepo beat. This is one of those things we talked about at the top, Mike. They don't get a lot of opportunities. They don't put a lot on goal, but they have an excellent conversion rate. So Sammy Ochoa has got to make the most of his opportunities when they come to him, because San Antonio is not going to let them sniff goal much longer.
King did keep that in play. The Lights reserves disagree. Presley. We were told that this Las Vegas Lights team, as Diaz comes in from behind, this is a team that was trying to find 6 passes or more in practice this past week to try and get their passing on a quicker rope. Castillo plays it through. Escalante. Escalante keeping still past Huiki, and it's a penalty. And Huiki, who's got 4 yellow cards this year, commits the foul in the box, and now San Antonio could get a third.
And you see head referee Luis Guardia not having any of the challenges whatsoever. Marco Jaime stepping in, Ricardo Forino stepping in, all of them trying to get an argument. But how about the class and technical ability by the Honduran down on the byline, right in between Huiki, gets around the Mexican. I'll tell you what, he had a boatload of boys waiting in the middle of the box that were probably going to finish that off. That's excellent work from Jose Escalante.
Rafa Castillo, as San Antonio is the Riverwalk itself. 37 years old. The definition of San Antonio soccer. Forino, worried about the ancillary product, steps to his line. For San Antonio, they look for a third. away to Las Vegas. An offense that was sputtering, suddenly in overdrive. Castillo from the spot. Scores! San Antonio away to Cashman Field, lead 3-0.
Well, Darren Powell talked about once they got one, they'd get a few. The floodgates starting to open. You can hear a crack in the Hoover Dam just around the bend. San Antonio FC only getting 4 goals in their first 6. They've put 3 away in game number 7. And the Lights in unfamiliar territory, struggling to keep their head above treading water. Down 3-0.
Boy, the result we saw with RGV last night, and now this. And Ferrigno trying to settle the troops here. Unfamiliar territory indeed for the Lights. And the referee has gone over to Darren Powell on the sideline. These referees all year long are going to have to come into just such a ruckus atmosphere. Got to be a fly on the wall here. Luis Guardia in the middle of it. This happened outside the view, both us and the cameras. It was totally away from the goal itself. The referee is pointing into the crowd. It appears that the referee is trying to gain control of the grounds at this present moment.
Again, the Lights and their fans.
It appears something was thrown on the field. The public address announcer just telling fans not to throw anything on the field.
Frustration by everybody, and you can see Ricardo Ferrigno having a few words with El Chalice, technical director for Las Vegas Lights, trying to get he and his boys back on track. You saw Ferrigno trying to settle the crowd down after the goal. Again, all the fans frustrated, down 3-0, but plenty of time left to get back in this match, and the last thing you want to do is shed precious moments and emotion in situations like this. We talked about the unfamiliar territory. Never been down by this. A lot of pieces shuffling in the Western Conference.
And they've never been shut out yet. There's a long way to go before we're talking about that, but there have been some crazy games already for Las Vegas. 3 goals far from a nail in the coffin necessarily, but at this point, public address announcer and these referees trying to regain control. There's El Chalice and Darren Powell. And talk about two guys that have so much respect for them. El Chalice in the first and second division in both Mexico and the United States as a head coach or a technical director. Darren Powell, a guy who's got the highest level of training a coach can get in this country. Missed a match last year at Toyota so that they could get that extra work done during Gold Cup.
Two very different coaching styles, but respect for the game and its surroundings nonetheless. Just trying to make sure this entire match gets back on track.
We're in the 56th minute here. Let's bring it back real quick, Devin. We now know why Escalante pulled a pacifier out here.
Well, we had an idea. Just wanted to make sure our premonition came to full light, and that's actually the first goal that he scored since his child was born. It's at the start of this preseason, so Escalante stepping into the limelight with he and his newfound family member and showing his love for his newborn baby with that pacifier.
And the referee pointing out individuals now.
Careful, Mike, you're next.
As a Cleveland Browns fan who's been at the definition of why not to throw objects on the field, the old Bottlegate game, I'm well aware that this is not a position that you want to put officials in or players in. And so here in the USL Game of the Week, you saw Farino trying to quiet this crowd and get it under control. And you see Christian Torres doing the same. We've been told now that the referees were hit by objects thrown by fans. Just leads to a dangerous atmosphere. And you don't want to paint the 8,000 or so fans in the stadium all with the same broad brush. But the referee's trying to give this enough time to figure this out.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we forget so rapidly that everybody needs to be safe and secure and sound in situations in general. And obviously everybody just gets a little bit rowdy. Frustration starts to mount as your home team starts to dwindle its chances. But again, there's so much time. This whole debacle started around the 52nd minute. So you're probably going to get at least 5 minutes extra time. And with the 33 that are already left on the clock, I mean, you're pushing 35, 40 minutes left. You can see that fan right there letting him know that his non-existent watch on his left hand is ticking away. I think you heard me.
Well, Las Vegas, 4 results in 4 games, 8 points, just outside the playoff picture, the fewest games played in the league. Entering a stretch that's going to be extraordinarily busy. This, their 3rd regular season home game. They hosted in the preseason too, drew out these amazing crowds. And now the referee, Luis Guardia, feels he's gotten control of the situation and will allow play to continue. These two teams right next to each other in the standings. San Antonio putting on a master class at this point. Goals from Guzman, Escalante, and Castillo. We're back to the action after it was a nearly 6-minute layoff. Castillo scored in the 51st minute. So it was more like an 8-minute layoff. Alvarez chipping. He put it over. That would have been an incredible response from Las Vegas.
Well, the keys to the game for San Antonio have been transition, and how about the ball from Ricardo Farino coming out? The back line just discombobulated. Again, Diego Restrepo, his head has been out in la-la land tonight. That was a golden effort there for Carlo Alvarez that was definitely wasted.
Restrepo, the College Cup MVP at Virginia, and since that 2009 season bounced around. Appears to have found a home here in San Antonio. King. Bruce. Leading ball up the right-hand side. It's behind Bruce. Goal for San Antonio. Bruce away from Weekey. Knocked ahead by Alvarez. Diaz. You see, Daigo Kobayashi has come on. Ochoa off of Alvarez and out. Las Vegas using their second substitute.
Semi Ochoa getting another chance. He's been the one bulb for the lights that has shown bright here this evening. But again, he can't do it all on his own. We saw some glimpses of brilliance between he and Alvarez in the first half. Nothing coming totally full circle and getting to the scoreboard, but still finding some good opportunities. You're going to see a change here from Isidro and El Chelis. Trying to move pieces around a little bit. You got to figure it's something in the middle to help kind of hold possession a little bit better. San Antonio still running the majority of this match.
A collision, ball across for Escalante. Was busting through. The thing about San Antonio, and they got blown out by Orange County, or so it appeared on the scoreline. Kobayashi on the ball now, 3-0. Hashimoto scored an amazing free kick in that game, and then 2 late goals with the game broken open at Toyota Field in San Antonio. It was a real shock to the system in the USL. It seems like they've put all that behind them and figured it out tonight. Alatorre, chested backward. Ochoa deflects off of Alvarez. And off a San Antonio player rather in front. And a corner coming. Another chance here for Las Vegas.
Well, again, Sammy Ochoa being involved in every way, shape, and form here tonight. Another great ball whipped in. You can see Guillen Torres on the left-hand side doing a good job bringing it off his chest.
Service. Huiki headed and saved by Restrepo. Garduño on the doorstep, couldn't put it in.
Once again, we don't know which one that was, Pineapple Pinchada or Coravata, but another great set piece from the corner by the Las Vegas Lights. Huiki again involved. It's got to be in the sketch of every single play they draw up. Great ball to the back post, out swinging. Huiki finds the far post with his header. You said Garduño just trying to crash the party. Good save by Diego Restrepo, but he goes to ground in agony almost immediately.
That play was deemed offside. Garduño a bit unlucky there. Ball up the left. Great step by Escalante. Kobayashi took over, and now Alvarez. They held up by Diaz. Chested by Felix. Alvarez was coming.
That's good stuff from the center back. Something he most likely picked up at Rochester. Just a heads-up play. Ball comes across, takes it off his chest, right to his goalkeeper. Good communication.
Alatorre. Kobayashi. Diaz. Alvarez. Jaime. Diaz. Got by Castillo. Races toward the byline. Is that off Cochran? No. Simply a goal kick. Restrepo set to kick this away. Alatorre. Cochran. All the way back to Restrepo. Shandel is able to keep that out of the back line. Guadarrama finding Pekka, shoved aside by Jaime.
How about the tackle from the goal scorer of the spot, Rafael Castillo? Good PK earlier, but that's a great 50-50 challenge.
Presley down to contact. And Farino, soon to be a married man, drives it away. Guadarrama intercepted by Huiki. Escalante. Escalante off of Wiki. Slips down. Dispossessed by Torres. It's Wiki now. Time at Morelia, Cruz Azul, Pachuca, and Liga MX. Kobayashi, his 17th professional season. A guy who's been training in Vegas for years. His first year in the USL. And to throw to San Antonio. Presley for Bruce. King has made a couple of dynamite runs forward. Return from Presley. King. Off the head of Kobayashi.
He called him like another good run from Darnell King, and Sonny Guadarrama just slowly trolling his way up the pitch. Darnell tried to pick him out right at the top of the 18. I like the ball. But again, I'm just extremely impressed by the 19-year-old Connor Presley. Man amongst boys here this evening, even at such a young age. So lots of clash of composure out there on the right-hand side.
Bruce is only 19 too. Very young group up front with Escalante, the elder statesman, at 22.
And a lot of times in situations like this, when you come into such a dynamic environment and go on the road, you look to your veterans to step up and help you and push you through hard and rough spots. But I'll tell you what, the youngsters have really been in the limelight here this evening. Combination play on the goals, good job tracking back defensively. They've just really been involved all around the pitch here tonight.
Think about it, Mikey Lopez, who came over from NYCFC, 25 years old. Omar Gordon, 26 years old. Seth and Elizondo attacking players in their own right, both 30 years old. It's a couple of teenagers and a 22-year-old that have led this team to a 3-goal lead. Alvarez skips in for Restrepo. Shandel, Restrepo. Alvarez went in on Restrepo. It's a yellow card to the most carded team in the league. It's to Alvarez. It's his first yellow card of the year, the former second overall pick to Chivas USA.
Carlos Alvarez saying to Luis Guardia, I didn't touch him, but I'll tell you what, in situations like that, you're so close. Unless you're gonna get in there, pull out of the challenge. Don't even give the referee an opportunity to sniff his book. Instead, Carlos Alvarez, you're gonna get another look coming from the right, all the way across. He's gonna stick his right foot out there, and he definitely follows through and hits Diego Restrepo. And he's gonna force the hand of the referee here in the 69th minute.
Before the season, El Chalice describing his team as the most yellow carded in the league they've been in, based on their style, that they're not afraid of that. Restrepo has been down a couple times here this evening. Alvarez shown yellow.
You can see once again, a little bit difficult from slow-mo, but Alvarez definitely stepping in. Almost catches him twice, to be honest. The initial step with the right foot on the right leg, and then as he steps down, that's a little bit of the left toe. Carlos Alvarez, not someone we're used to seeing fouls called upon by the referee. Extremely offensive-minded. Shies away a little bit at times in those challenges. Could see him say right away, I didn't touch him, but Diego Restrepo, an extravagant little limp going on as he pulls away to show him exactly what Carlos Alvarez just did to his calf.
Restrepo banged up to say the least. Matt Cardoni available off the bench. The team that's only used one of their substitutes. Guadarrama reversing for Presley. And Torres up the line. Ian Torres' number is on that board too. And a change on the way for Lights FC. Beg your pardon, it's Marco Jaime who's going to come off. Las Vegas native checking out. Matt Thomas, another Las Vegas native, a guy who went to Palo Verde High School and Rocky Mountain College. First ever goal scorer, Las Vegas Lights history, checking in.
Scored quite rapidly as well, and this is the change that I thought we would see earlier on. Matt Thomas is going to show you a lot of speed. He's very direct. Actually came up through the Real Salt Lake Youth Academy, and someone the Lights like to go to when they're in need of a spark. And what you'll see, that's an offense for defense right there for sure. They're pulling Marco off. They're going to move Matt in. Now you're going to see what role he's going to play.
Alatorre header caught by Restrepo, and it's Matt Thomas right off the bat.
And they were rotating with that 3-4-3, kind of a hybrid 3-5-2, if you will. Talked about Carlos Alvarez stepping back in, but as you said, right off the bat, just a good ball sprayed outside, knocked into the middle, and Matt Thomas, known a little bit more for his leaping ability and stretching the field. Good job getting up.
Diaz has been a shot in the arm in this second half. Serving for Alatorre, who crosses again. Brought down, Kobayashi ahead. Alvarez back to Kobayashi at the byline. A goal kick on the way. Roshandel following him all the way to the end.
And Kobayashi looks fit. He has lost a solid 15 pounds since we initially saw him in preseason. He has shed the weight and really stepped into this role well. We've used the word combination for San Antonio all night long, but the Lights putting a little bit that on display there. Nice little spark for the Las Vegas Lights, see if they can continue.
Diaz stripped, a foul. Kobayashi wants to go. Alatorre. Alvarez lost it. Cochran goes down over the ball. Oh, Choa is frustrated.
It's the second or third time we've seen Sammy Ochoa step in behind one of the defenders. Greg Cochran being the recipient of that challenge there. See a little bit of fancy footwork from Diego Restrepo.
A little bit of hold-up play. Ochoa against Cochran. Ochoa knocks back. Ian Torres falls in front. Alvarez puts it in. And Las Vegas has one back with a quarter of an hour to go.
Well, Sammy Ochoa showing some frustration, but does a good job working back. Great ball played in. And then looks like it's a pass. It's definitely not. That is a strike on goal. Carlos Alvarez, the recipient of a nasty little deflection, and you're going to see the hesitancy from Ryan Felix coming across. Your center back, you got to step in and make that challenge. You never want to see him leave his feet. Didn't need to. All he needed to do is stick one foot out, get in front of Carlos Alvarez. Alvarez gets a look, gets the tiniest little window, finishes to the far post, and there's a little bit of life left in the Las Vegas Lights.
It's his second of the year. Nobody silences the electric company for long. for the 4th straight home game, over 8,000 at Cashman Field. King, flag flying. It's a foul. This won't count. Look at Farino firing the ball back out and trying to get Las Vegas back on the comeback trail.
Well, that's the ferociousness and energy that the electric company likes to see. You can hear the fans really getting into it. Even the PA announcer making himself known a little bit more regularly than he was in the first half, and that's good to see. Good emotion from the hometown fans. It's exactly the response you want from your squad. How's San Antonio going to counterpunch?
Stretched out, Bruce to his right, Presley fires. It took a deflection out front. It was a good idea. Guadarrama. And here comes Alvarez. Goal in the 75th. O'Shandle. Lobbed over the top. Chance now for Bruce! The 19-year-old! But it won't count. So very close for San Antonio trying to put this thing away. Bruce now 2 goals in the last 3 minutes, neither of which counted. And it's a foul against Thomas. And King really rotating on the ground here.
Class by Sammy Ochoa stepping over to Darnell King, and going back to your point, Mike, Alex Bruce just finding him in the right place at the right time. Newcastle native, spent a lot of time overseas. You could see the technical ability creeping into this match all over the place, combining with each and every player, and he's done a really good job up top in isolation at times. He and Connor Presley have really been running this offense. Now San Antonio, a little bit of work left. Clock's ticking away. You're going to see another change from Darren Powell. Isidro and El Chelis have used all of their chess pieces. What pawns does Powell have left?
Mikey Lopez, 5 years in Major League Soccer, Sporting Kansas City, then NYCFC. San Antonio with a unique affiliation with New York City Football Club. Castillo comes off a penalty scored for him in the 51st. Got dabbed up there on the way out.
Mikey's a player. He's got a lot of that fiery ferociousness that a lot of these Las Vegas Lights players has. He'll play out on the right. He'll play in the middle. As he comes into the middle of the pitch, tends to hold more of like a left center midfielder, holding midfielder role. He and Pekka are going to try and lock that down in the final 10 minutes here. See if they can escape. It's been difficult. And jumping out to that 3-0 lead, but the Lights have crawled their way back into this match.
On the way for Christian Torres. Instead, a free kick conceded at the halfway line. Skips to Alatorre, who slides and pops it up. It's over from Diaz.
Well, they say you got to give credit where credit is due, and Marcelo Alatorre has done such a good job on the right side tonight, whipping in ball after ball after ball. And this one coming off a deflection, just a last-ditch effort trying to get to the end line, whips one across, and Isaac Diaz gets right to the 6-yard box. Diogo Strepo once again just tracking back from the near post. Darren Powell's going to have a few words with his goalkeeper after this one.
Torres took it away. Sends it ahead into a player in an offside position, Ochoa. That's it, run out. And lest we forget, there was an incident early in this half that cost 7 or 8 minutes of game time to cross. There isn't 9 minutes plus a couple, we could legitimately see another 18 minutes.
Oh, easily, Mike. And that's one of the things that Las Vegas needs to keep in the back of their mind. And for the San Antonio squad, they've got to stay composed. Again, such a difficult environment to come in and play in. They're still showing the ability to get forward.
Guadarrama out in front. Foligno didn't claim it.
But unless you can find the back of the net, it's going to be wasted energy. Las Vegas will look to capitalize on it and go the other way.
Lopez took it away. Escalante was in an offside position when Lopez knocked it ahead.
And I know a lot of fans don't like to hear it, but this is one of those situations. If you're a San Antonio FC fan, you'd like to see Darren Powell almost pull a Mourinho type move and just park the bus. Up 3-1 on the road. Haven't been able to find the back of the net a lot. They tickled the nylon a few times tonight. This would be a huge 3 points if they could get out of here. You see them continue to push forward.
San Antonio fans making the trip. This is going to become a highlight on a lot of Western Conference schedules this year for the traveling support. Alamo City done proud tonight. Still a long way to go. Diaz knocked away. Pekka takes over. Escalante, his first goal in San Antonio colors. Ball skipping ahead. Foligno comes out diving with a header. And off those heroics, Alvarez, Diaz, comes down to Pekka. Cochran lost the handle. Weekie. That's out. Change on the way. How about Jose Escalante tonight? His first goal coming over from the Houston organization. A pacifier in tow. First since the birth of his child in preseason. And Cesar Elizondo comes on, the 30-year-old Costa Rican.
Darren Powell not shying away from a challenge. Pulling the speedy midfielder forward. Going tit for tat. Cesar Elizondo, so good at stretching play up top and on the side. You're going to see him slide over to the left. I almost wonder if they'd give Connor Presley an opportunity to come over and see what he could do on the left-hand side. But a good shift by Jose Escalante. I tell you, track back a couple minutes, Mike. 90 seconds to 2 minutes ago. A lot of times you'll see coaches and players question the, we'll call it, antics of Ricardo Foligno. But Isidro and El Chalice like to call it composure in the back. And as long as his antics don't get out of control, well, I'll tell you what, that was controlled chaos a moment ago, because just excellent vision for him to understand the play breaking down. Good job stepping up. Could have been a goal-saying save by the keeper using his head.
Diaz overrun at the feet of Elizondo, out to Alatorre. Swerving the ball toward the area. Guadarrama running into a much bigger and much stronger Joel Huiki. Kobayashi for Torres. San Antonio 4-match winless streak. It felt like they had a chance to win in every match they've played this year. Ball for Alvarez, popped up. Restrepo will control. The San Antonio team behind Diego Restrepo's fantastic goalkeeping allowed all of 24 goals last year. Lost just 4 times. Garnered 62 points, second best in the USL's Western Conference, after starting 14 matches unbeaten. Alatorre playing it out in front. Deflects, and a corner. It's a long run from Ryan Felix. Cover that ground.
Well, Communication definitely not at its finest for the back line of San Antonio FC. Good job by Darnell King and the right back stepping over, sliding across. He can see that Ryan, we'll call it the Ryan brothers, R2, both of them beat. Good job by King stepping over.
To the near post. Falls out in front, headed, and caught by Restrepo. Garduño is down, grabbing for his face.
Another look from Garduño, stepping over and just all bouncing around. Difficult to see from that angle. He's grabbing his head. The technical staff comes to take a look at him.
Should be noted, both teams have used all 3 of their substitutes.
And there's no more moves to be made in this chess match, and now it's just going to turn into a heavyweight title fight and see who can slug it out the most and get out of here unscathed. I'll tell you what, Mike, Darren Powell, he said something to us that's been interesting in the past, well, not even in the past, almost this entire game. He said to us that he thought Diego Restrepo really struggled the first few games with the back line because there were new guys, injuries, people floating around, and that he had to learn a bunch of new names to communicate with everyone. I think he's the one who struggled with communication here this evening because the back line has done a good job, but you can see him continuously second-guessing himself and not talking to the boys appropriately, and you can see the spacing's very off.
It's a team still without Stephen McCarthy, not 90-minute match fit. Without the reigning defensive player of the year, Sebastian Ibeagha. That's a foul in the center circle. It's a straight red to Torres. Sent off in the 88th minute.
Well, Christian Torres, frustrated, bewildered, and disbelief by the decision by our referee, and you're going to get another look. Christian Torres is tracking back. Good ball coming through. Sonny Guadarrama trying to push the pace, and that is a nasty challenge there. You can understand the referee going straight red in that situation. Two-footed tackle. That's dangerous. You can break someone's ankle like that. And I would imagine the staff in the technical area is going to be escorted off most likely as they tend to Sonny Guadarrama.
We've been told that extra security is surrounding the field after the earlier incidents occurred after the penalty in the 50th minute. And the ensuing penalty scored by Castillo in the 51st. Well, Huiki talking this out with Luis Guardia. Guadarrama continues to be checked out on the field.
It's one thing as a Las Vegas player or technical staff to be frustrated by a referee's decision. It's another in a situation like that where it's just absolutely blatantly obvious that there's no challenge to be made on the ball there whatsoever. And just emotion and frustration boiling over, and things go from bad to worse for Las Vegas. But Christian Torres has to be much more level-headed in situations like that.
Garduño returns, or this team would have been down to 9. Injured a moment ago. There'll be a lot of stoppage time. How much? That's not an easy question for the 4th official tonight. It's Alejandro Aguilera. Cochran falls out for Bruce on a play. 9 minutes of added time. You almost need to go double digits.
I'm talking to Darren Powell. So kind of him to give us a bunch of time. And I asked him directly, I said, listen, you had Billy Forbes over on the left. Chris Tierpak steps in. Jose Escalante gets that job out on the left-hand side. And we brought it up briefly, and he said, listen, it's his shirt to win right now. Excuse me, to wear right now. But anybody can step in at any moment. And Jose Escalante was a bright spot for them on the left-hand side of the pitch tonight. And Going back almost a year, I had a conversation, a gentleman by the name of Junior Gonzalez. At that point in time, Escalante playing on and off for RGV. Gonzalez now at Los Angeles Galaxy, and Junior Gonzalez telling us that this guy can just do amazing things with the ball. I think it was on full display here this evening.
23 in white, scoring for San Antonio in the 33rd. Ball toward Bruce, lifted away by Garduño. Free kick to Las Vegas. They're on the verge of their first ever loss in franchise history in a competitive match. Torres off the volley.
And smart by Mikey Lopez a second ago. Most people won't recognize what just happened, but Mikey Lopez a few games back versus Los Dos got a double yellow, two yellow cards, both of which were, I'll say, poorly advised on his decision-making ability. And you could see a second ago, foul goes down. Lopez standing right in front of the ball, an opportunity for a quick restart by Las Vegas Lights, and Lopez just shying away, doing a good job, and that's what San Antonio needs. Just stay calm, keep your composure. There's about 7 minutes left on the clock.
Torres comes down to Alvarez. Alvarez again. Elizondo. Alvarez scoring against the team he once wore the shirt for. The inaugural player for San Antonio. Goal in the 75th. Made this game feel close again. Farino. Darren Powell's team on the verge of their second win of the year. They look ahead to a game at home against Fresno, then at RGV, then home to Tulsa. They could get on a run here, Devin.
I was like, this could be the launching point for the restart of their season almost. Again, only losing 4 games last year. They've dropped 2 in their first 6, but coming up, and this is no disrespect to any of the squads that they're playing, but we're just going by the table that we currently have in front of us. They just had that draw versus Fresno, playing in Fresno, but now they're going to go back home. They're going to deal with Fresno at Toyota Field, and then, as you said, at RGV, home to Tulsa, at Reno, and respectively, you're playing 13, 17, 14 in the 8th place team in the Western Conference. So a lot of positive opportunities looking up for San Antonio.
Tapped ahead, and it's driven towards the net. Farino was well outside the 18. It's a big smile on the face of Cesar Elizondo.
From the looks of it, Ricardo Farino getting a little touch as San Antonio's been awarded a corner. You can say anything you want about him. You can call him antics, but still, the back line, tired and exhausted, and Farino gets his head on that ball. I mean, that is an excellent decision from the goalkeeper. That's probably going to find the back of the net.
And if he touches that outside the 18-yard box, he is right there. Elizondo against Torres. Off the flag. Well, Elizondo thought that he was going to keep it there. That's an instance where we have a much better angle than anybody else.
Unfortunately, that's been the only lucky streak for Las Vegas here this evening.
Halfway through stoppage time, nobody on the field knows exactly how much time they have. I think a player can guess 5, 6 minutes, but 9? Here's a chance for Presley. Presley across for Bruce. Gonna run too far. It did.
And I get what he's trying to do there, but it's a little bit of youth and inexperience. You're up 3-1. Love to put another one in the back of the net, but could just as easily use your skills and abilities, step on it, go to the corner, play the 2-man game, kill some more of those seconds off the clock.
Torres. Served upfield for Alvarez, cutting it across. Diaz arrives. Collision. Pekka, the Brazilian, sends it upfield. And this is dangerous again. Back pocket again. Another red card. Or is it he's put it back in his pocket? He'll talk it over. It's Connor Presley who's down. Gian Torres trying to explain this away.
Well, the good news for Gian Torres is that Luis Guardia has put the red card back in his pocket. He's going to consult his assistant referee, the linesman, and the fourth official. More good news that Gian Torres has not really had a lot of challenges here this evening. And Darren Powell showing his frustration and disbelief that another challenge like that could go on. You could almost see him in the background saying that's crazy. While they're deciding exactly what's going to go on, something to think about, Mike. I'm going to get another look at the challenge. As you can see Pekka playing out of the back, and good job by Connor Presley getting around him, and that's just another rough challenge.
And that's Garduño.
That was not Gian Torres, it was Garduño stepping over.
Gian Torres was the one who was trying to step up for his teammate.
And difficult to see from the camera angle. Sorry about that, folks. And Garduño, rightfully so, going into the book.
It's his fourth yellow card of the year, so he's moved onto the edge of a yellow card accumulation suspension with his next.
As they discuss exactly proper spelling of the name, so we can get it right on the scorebook. Kidding, by the way. First 6 matches for San Antonio. They've lost the possession battle once. Swope Park Rangers ended up in a 1-1 tie. They've also only completed less than 400 passes in a match once. Swope Park Rangers, somewhere around 327 or 329. You know my arithmetic is terrible. Tonight, 234. In the second half, they've only had 35% possession. That's 40 overall for the match. And still, they're the only team, looks like the only team that's going to be able to come into Cashman and escape with a victory.
Las Vegas playing down to 10, and 88th minute red card to Christian Torres. They've escaped finishing with 9 for the present moment. This game has just been all over the map. And just wait till you see our upcoming USL Game of the Week schedule. Las Vegas will feature prominently. You never can ignore what happens in Vegas. Elizondo. Cochran. Backed over the top for Elizondo. Guadarrama. The turn is excellent. Bruce followed. It's knocked away. Lopez off of Ferrigno. Off of Bruce. Bruce takes over again. Followed by Thomas. Free kick. There's the service. Pounding challenge from Huiki. I think the referee might do well to end this thing. It's a throw for San Antonio. Cochran lobs in. Elizondo. Throw for Alatorre. Over 100 minutes. Thomas couldn't take it from King. Presley. Well done by Gian Torres. Diaz. Foul. It's Las Vegas lights again. Knocked over the top for Alvarez. Anything from here might just be window dressing given the time. Torres. Upfield for Diaz. Slide from Cochran, throw Las Vegas. It's full time. Collateral damage abound, but San Antonio away from home at Las Vegas knocks the lights out of the ranks of the unbeaten. Darren Powell and his San Antonio side pick up their second win of the year. They knock off the lights 3-1.
Whew. Hey, catch my breath there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, classy performance by Darren Powell and San Antonio FC coming in here and a hard-fought victory, jumping out 3-0 lead. It was just masterful performance by he and his boys. And look, the tactician made the move. He brought on Connor Presley, did a great job, and Las Vegas has to understand that things like this are gonna happen. They just need to pull that emotion in a little bit more, get a hold of it, and harness it in a different manner. Try and push forward and grab a victory. Unfortunately, going down, and the undefeated have become defeated.
Rafa Castillo puts the nail in the coffin. Las Vegas Lights, true to form. 3-1 San Antonio. We'll wrap it up after this. Yeah. Undefeated no longer for San Antonio, 4 winless in the rearview mirror. It's an important win away for San Antonio and Las Vegas. Well, you just watched 101 minutes of Las Vegas brand soccer in the ESPN game of the week in the United Soccer League. Indy 11 hosting FC Cincinnati in our next game of the week on Wednesday, May the 2nd at Lucas Oil Field. And then Fresno FC and Rio Grande Valley will take us out to another expansion team and Chuck Chansey Park before we get a little hiatus. Well, the Crocketeers have to be happy with this one. And Devin, this has lived up to the billing for sure. We take a look at our full-time highlights.
Sin City, rightfully so, dealing with a couple cards here this evening, 3 yellow, 1 red. Again, it wasn't all bells and whistles for San Antonio. Right off the bat, got things going, but again, good challenge. Good stuff by Darnell King winning the initial one. Good ball over from Presley to Pekka. Nice ball played up top, and just classy little flick by Guzman over to Guadarrama. Returns the favor, 1-0. Unfortunately, that's the last we would see of Ever Guzman. He's going to step off the pitch with a hamstring injury.
We were told lower body injury in the 20th minute. He gets his first goal of the season, a guy who scores in bunches. Wouldn't get the chance to bag another here tonight as Farino well off his line. Las Vegas down after 17 minutes, 1-0. Moving forward, this is a San Antonio team that got a wonderful run up the field from King, turning on the burners, finding Jose Escalante. This is an important goal for the young man from Honduras.
And King was involved multiple times this evening, and again, just good job. The youngster, 19-year-old Connor Presley. It all starts from him. Look at the vision. Sees the outbending run from Darnell King. Speedster on the right-hand side. Forward, turd, outside back. Great ball played into the 6. And just the presence of mind and the composure by Jose Escalante. We saw him pull out the pacifier, paying a little homage to his newborn baby. It's a very heavy young man.
We move forward this into the second half. Escalante draws the penalty against Tweaky in the 50th minute, and Rafa Castillo would knock it down.
Well, unfortunately, the back line of Las Vegas Lights hung themselves out to dry a few times tonight, but that time Tweaky going to ground. That's a no-no from the center back. He got beat. Goalkeeper and another back had an opportunity to slide over. He goes to ground, gives up the PK, and classy by the holding midfielder, stepping up, Rafael Castillo, putting his boys in front, 3-0.
Another goal in San Antonio for the Colombian. We move forward, and this is not over yet. Alvarez, the original San Antonio FC player, 75th minute, is second of the year.
And this started from Sammy Ochoa. We had just heard him complaining a few moments ago, gets the ball in the corner, keeps the perseverance pushing to Jorge Guillen Torres, played across, and just a solid finish by Las Vegas. And then the book started to open, literally. Christian Torres, the 2-footer in the middle of the field. He's going to see straight Fred from head referee Luis Guardiola. We were going to see the card come out a few more times here this evening. We mentioned 3 yellows and a straight red for Las Vegas Lights, and they stay true to form, continuously being put in the book. San Antonio able to escape 3-1.
Las Vegas, 23 shots tonight. That's a record for the franchise in what's only their 5th match. They did some things right. They outpossessed San Antonio, but blown out in the scoreline, didn't they?
Well, interestingly enough, we talked about the conversion rate at the top of our broadcast. How about San Antonio tonight? They put 5 on target, 13 total, but 5 on target, 3 in the back of the net. Again, lost the possession battle, but who cares? Goals win games.
Well, partner, this was something else, wasn't it?
I mean, again, top to bottom, it's just been a pleasure being able to be involved in this once again, and you'll expect more of this from the Lights in the future.
Guzman, Escalante, Castillo for San Antonio as they take a 3-1 win. For Sharni Yerke, Gage Tillison, Jonathan Tellicher, and our entire team in Vegas, and Devin Kerr. Mike Watts saying so long. San Antonio winner, 3-1. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.